Welcome to the second half of the Book of Mormon. My name is James Jensen, and I will look forward to being your instructor for the next couple of months as we begin in Alma chapter 30 and go all the way through to Moroni chapter 10 as we learn about the great teachings of Alma, of Mormon, Moroni, and the brother of Jared. So many things that we have to look forward to. The first couple of chapters that we will begin this week, in week 1, will be Alma chapter 30 versus Alma chapter 34. And in Alma chapter 30, we learn about the third of what I would call the three antichrists in the Book of Mormon, Sherem, Nehor, and Korihor. Korihor being the last. And this particular individual is very relevant to our day because of the types of philosophies that he teaches. As you read Alma chapter 30, think about what Korihor is teaching and think about how his teachings are so parallel to the philosophies and the mindset of people today. Again, Mormon put these statements in here, these people, these chapters in here for a reason. And as you read Alma chapter 30, you'll understand why Mormon felt it was important for us to learn about Korihor. Now, at the very end, Korihor is being taught by Alma. And I love Alma's response to Korihor. I love how Alma teaches and declares the divinity of God. First off, he challenges Korihor's notion that Korihor knows that there isn't a God by states basically all things denote that there is a God. How true is that? For those of you who love to go out and see the outdoors, every single thing that we look around in our lives remind us that they are evidences that there is indeed a God. I love a statement by Ronald Reagan, who one time said that sometimes when I'm faced with an atheist, I'm tempted to invite him to the greatest gourmet dinner that one could ever serve. And when we have finished eating that magnificent dinner, to ask him if he believes that there's a cook. Well, in Alma's case, he teaches Korihor through absolute assurity that there is such a thing as a God. We then learn at the very end what the adversary does when he gets us. Does he lift us up at the last day? As you read the end of Alma chapter 30, you find out how he treats those who end up following him. Now, Alma chapter 31 and 32 and 33 start the teachings of Alma as he goes to a downcast people that had been cast out, that were not allowed to worship. We learn a little bit about what it truly means to be humble in Alma chapter 32. Should we be compelled to be humble, or should we allow ourselves to be humble? Either way, we are going to be humble, and we'll find in Alma chapter 32 it's much better to desire to be humble than to be forced. In Alma chapter 32, we also have a blueprint for each of you. If you are still feeling like your testimony is in that infancy state, and of course each of us, our testimony is a work in progress throughout life, and Alma 32 teaches us how our testimony can grow and what we need to do in order to grow it. Alma 32 is a great example of how a seed can be likened to our testimony. In Alma chapter 33 and Alma chapter 34, again, Amulek starts to teach the people, and in Alma chapter 34, the great teachings about not procrastinating our repentance until the last days. These are indeed tremendous chapters, and I look forward to listening and hearing the feedback that you get in your discussion board posts, and would again remind everyone, first post is due by Wednesday evening, second post by Saturday evening. I absolutely loved what I heard and what I read from you about the BYU learning model, and want to again remind you that to teach one another means to prepare first by reading the scriptures, pondering the things that you've learned, and then allowing yourselves to share those things and basically to push yourself out into the to the light of the things that you have learned, and then to be able to listen to what others have said. And as that dialogue begins, then we teach one another and we all grow. It's a remarkable thing. I look forward to week 1 as we begin this semester. If any of you have any questions that would like to get a hold of me, again, I'm available by Skype, by email. I'd love to hear from you if you have questions, if you have things that you don't understand. The other thing I wanted just to remind you of is that I will be putting, as I find any issues that come up in our weekly assignments, if there's problems with the quizzes, if there's other things that come up, I will put those types of learnings in the announcements. And so before you send me an email, before you get all concerned about a particular question, a quiz question that doesn't seem right, look in the announcement page and see if, and I will have within each week 1 through week 13, just go to that week's announcement and I will put their notes, things that I have learned that you need to be aware of for that particular week. You can always email me, but look there first. I hope you have a great week 1, and I look forward to interacting with you and understanding the things that you've learned. Again, have a fun week.